apple bottom jeans. Oh, sorry.
Frankie, your parents ever embarrass you?
All the time. Also, is there such thing as like a bee about this big that's really like fuzzy?
Like a bumblebee?
No, because it's like this big.
Howdy guys, welcome to TCR. Sid here, thanks for clicking on the video. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Today we're gonna show you how Mike makes his fabulous tomato sauce for your pastas, for your lasagnas, for your baked ziti, whatever it is you wanna throw it on, we got you covered. We're gonna take you through the whole water bath canning process. Let's get to it. Mike has made his own tomato sauce several times now, and this year he even planted a bunch of tomatoes so he could make it from just our tomatoes. However, some of the plants didn't do as well, some of them didn't come in, so we actually bought a bunch of tomatoes from a neighboring farm that had some purple Cherokees that were really great and actually gave the sauce a really cool, darker color, I think. He's got 60 pounds of potatoes. Why do I keep saying potatoes? I do this every time.
Potato to you.
No, tomatoes. 60 pounds of tomatoes.
These are Cherokee purple tomatoes. Yeah, we're gonna be making a serious amount of pasta sauce because we like pasta sauce. We love homemade pasta sauce. We love homemade pasta sauce that's made from locally grown tomatoes. We got these from our friend Chrissy Bean because I don't have enough going off in the garden yet. I will a little bit later in the season and I'll make another batch. We're completely out of pasta sauce.
That's a dangerous thing. For an Italian to not have any pasta sauce on the prepper shelf is a scary thing, and he knows that he doesn't want an angry Italian woman living in his house, so he is making some sauce. And for those of you that are about to say I should be the one making the sauce, I don't have my Nona's recipe. I think it died with her.
Or the skills.
Hey, I'm a good cook. I cook.
No, you're a good baker.
I am both.
Both.
But that's not the point. The point is, he's really into like the pressure canning and stuff, and as I had mentioned before, the pressure...
We're not gonna pressure can this, we're gonna water bath can it.
Well, you know what I mean.
Bless your heart.
Bless my heart. I forget what gets pressure canned and what gets water bath canned sometimes. Okay, anyway, that's not the point. The point...
You know what, never mind.
I don't know. The point is, I don't enjoy the canning of things as much as he does, the process of it. He finds it soothing or something, I don't know. Or he doesn't, I don't know. Either way, he is like the canning professional because he likes the math and the science behind it and all of that, and I am more of a measure and pinch and
very little science, it's pretty basic.
It's not my jam. How about that?
We'll just stick to that.
How about...
That we should have just led with, it's not my jam.
It's not my jam. There you go.
Look at that tomato.
That's a tomato right there.
I'm actually saving these two.
That one looks like it's got testicular cancer.
Yeah.
That's messed up, dude. You don't joke about that. Just like that. So.
How you liking your new table there, Schlick?
Oh, I'm loving it. I'm loving this setup. I've got my stainless steel table here. This is actually a restaurant prep table, and I've got my butchering mat underneath my feet, so I'm walking on sunshine.
Bouncy and buoyant over here.
Yeah. Got my Crocs on.
Oh yeah.
In case y'all are looking for a crouch, here I am.
You are practically irresistible at this moment.
Waving your knife around as you do so.
All I'm gonna do is cut these into chunks like this, get them into a big pot, and once I get all these cut up in the pot, we will switch to the next phase right about. So once you got your pot so full of tomatoes that you need help carrying it, go ahead and flex. Then you gotta go put it on the stove and bring it to a simmer. Step 2. Alright. Woo, that barely fits.
So all these leftover bits we're gonna bring out to the animals. Ninja moves now. Ninja moves.
Yeah. Construction zone. I don't want the birds climbing on my food grade containers. Wow, look at that freaking goose gobble that thing up.
Do something.
Hi.
Keep going. Keep going. Now give me 10 push-ups.
Push that up.
This is Mike's new man cave where I'm gonna make him sleep from now on.
That might not be a problem.
It's nice and cool in here.
That's what I'm saying.
The bed might be a little prison style for you. Maybe I'll just take you back to your military days. Special
Okay.
guest appearance by Hot Pink Tony.
Hello.
Salmon Tony.
No, it's definitely pink.
Okay, it's definitely pink.
Absolutely. Did you go to work today? No.
So you dress like that on purpose today?
I ordered my new car.
Oh, you
Oh,
did.
did you order it?
Yeah.
Ooh,
it
somebody's
a
getting
Tesla?
a Tesla.
Performance, yeah.
Yeah, if you're gonna go order a Tesla
You wear a pink
performance,
shirt.
you wear a pink shirt. I know a guy that has a fancy Tesla on order.
Yeah.
I know a bunch of dumbasses, but
You're dumbass to be riding to work in it, so
That's accurate. That's accurate.
he brought over this really cool. What do you call this thing, Tony?
Food mill.
Food mill. We're going
A
to.
little grainy strainery thing at the bottom, and you crank it. And
That's
you,
exactly what it's called.
Yeah.
Grainy strainery thing. Let's go ahead and put one batch in here.
That's what she said. What?
How full should I put it, Tony?
I'd go to the bottom of that bar that goes across. Fill it up pretty good.
Is this easier if you're wearing a pink shirt when you do it?
Nope.
Just checking.
And just remember to reverse it periodically. Clean off that screen in the bottom.
That's what she said.
Oh Lord.
And sometimes when it gets down low, it helps to add a little bit more to help kind of push everything down.
When
How
it gets
full do you-
low.
How full do you let it get with apple bottom jeans? Oh, sorry.
Frankie, your parents ever embarrass you?
All the time. Also, is there such thing as like a bee about this big that's really like fuzzy?
How big? It just got like
This big.
twice as big as
Like a bumblebee?
Like that.
Like this big?
Like a bumblebee?
No, and it was like this big-ish, and it was like really fuzzy on its butt and
Yeah.
on its.
It's called a fuzzy butt bee.
It was really fuzzy on its butt and on its like abdomen or whatever it's called. I don't do bugs.
Not into entomology, are we?
No.
Okay.
But is there such thing as that? Is that the killer hornet?
Well, you did see one out there, right?
Yeah.
No,
So I
it's
said
not a
like
yellow
that.
hornet. It's some variety
It's
of a bumblebee.
some kind of bumblebee.
Some very overgrown bumblebee. It's probably
Well, bumblebees are traditionally like big, fuzzy, like legit, like bumblebees. You've never seen a bumblebee?
No. I've never seen.
Jesus.
I've only seen the honey.
No, the honeybees and the killer bees.
And the killer bees.
The ones that I released to get you, my precious. Okay, so here we are. Sauce progress. 2 days later.
2 days later.
2 days later. So what happened was when Tony came over and brought his food mill, Mike usually uses his juicer mill thing that we use when we're making like grape jelly and things like that,
Actually, I usually use a blender.
or a blender, which changes things, right? This food mill thing just really juiced it to the point where, well, I think he's made tomato soup at this point. So while Mike has made his sauce several times, this definitely changes things. So he's trying to correct.
I'm on a recovery mission
He's on a
right
recovery mission right now. So right now it's pretty
now. So
watery.
here we go. This sauce is, you can see it has reduced from here all the way down to there. It's 2/3 reduced.
Yeah.
And the current consistency is a pretty thick tomato soup. Definitely not a tomato sauce.
No.
What am I doing about it? I picked up some Romas on the way home, a bunch of them. So I'm gonna take these Romas, I'm gonna take a knife, and I'm gonna slice them like this, okay? Just, not even slice, just scratch the skin. And then I'm gonna take a whole bunch of these with scratched skin like that, and I'm gonna drop them into some boiling water, okay? Like so. I'm gonna let that come back to a boil for just a minute, just a minute, until the skin starts to pull back. I'll show you. You don't want to cook them, all right? You see how the skin's starting to kind of break loose right there? That's it. When that starts to happen, pull them out, and I'm putting them in some cool water right here, just to stop any cooking process that might be going on,
And to make it so you can touch it.
and to make it so you can touch it. Yeah. All right. Then you just take them and just peel that skin off. Okay. That's it. Just peel that bad boy off of there.
Maybe it's a bad girl.
Yeah, sorry, didn't mean to
Don't.
gender identify the tomato. After you've peeled them all, get a little closer.
Well, honey, I have to be.
I got 10 pounds here, Romas, and you don't want that part, okay? So what I do is I cut them in half like this. Get rid of that, and all that goes into there.
And you do that 400 more times.
And then you do that a bunch more times. And make sure your knife is super sharp, all right? Because you're less likely to cut yourself if you don't have to push very hard.
And if you do, you won't feel it because the knife's really sharp.
Right, exactly.
That's smart thinking there, buddy.
You need to do what you're told.
Oh my God. I need to talk to my union representative.
You're gonna take these bad boys over here to this bad girl. The one that does the damage is the girl. The one that gets damaged is the boy.
Oh, jeez. That's a lot, Michael.
All right?
This is the weirdest margarita I've ever made in here.
All right?
Too much.
You're done.
Tomato soup, al fresca.
Okay, now take this concoction over here, dump it right in here.
Ooh.
Give that a stir, get it all mixed in. It's already thickening up.
See all the colors of
Yeah,
the wind.
yeah, it's already thickening up. Look at that.
I just want to
Getting
say
there.
one thing.
No,
I say one
you
thing?
never only want to say one thing.
I will not be washing this pan. I'm going to make you wash this pan.
I'm throwing this pan away and buying another one. All right, so I added some caramelized onions. I chopped them up and added them. You can see them in there. I added 2 onions, caramelized. So now I'm gonna take this little pressy thing and load it up with some garlic. Whoops. And then squishy. And you can't really use too much garlic. You can try, and I encourage you to try, but load it up with garlic. All right, now you just gotta let it reduce a little bit more until you're really liking the consistency, and that's getting close right there. Yeah, there we go. Next, we gotta add a little bit of sugar. You wanna salt and pepper and sugar it to taste. Just go ahead, add a little bit, stir it in real good, let it cook for a couple minutes, and then taste it. It's totally gonna vary for every person how much salt, how much pepper, and how much sugar. Just don't overdo it with the sugar. All right, now we gotta get some basil ready. I like to take this basil and roll it up like this, and then choppy. Don't get your finger in there. Meanwhile, we got some jars processing in here. Let's get those sanitized, and we put our sauce into a smaller pot. We're bringing it back up to temp. We're gonna taste the recipe one last time before we get it in jars. Now you're gonna wanna put some citric acid in there. I'm thinking 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon per pint is gonna handle that pH for you. Now take a nice pinch of that basil and drop it in every jar. Used it all. Did I miss that guy back there? Come on now. Ladle this stuff right into our jars. Now you want to make sure that you're leaving yourself about 1/2 inch of headspace there, which for me is right at the bottom of the funnel. Works out pretty good. All right, now get yourself a little bit of vinegar. Just get your towel damp, and you're gonna wipe the tops of those jars. We're just making sure that we didn't contaminate the very top of the jar in any way before we put our lids on, because we want to make sure we get a good seal. All right, time to get those lids out of the hot water and get them on top of the jars. All right, after you get the lids and rings on, then you get them back into your water bath, bring it back up to a boil, and set your timer for 20 minutes. Let's get these things out of here. Ooh, that's hot. All right, after you get all these bad boys out, if you had a little bit left in the pot, wasn't quite enough to do another water bath, then you can just put that in some jars that you're gonna put in the fridge. So I got 11, 12, 13, 14, and 3/4 pints out of roughly 70 pounds of tomatoes. Yikes.
It's good stuff, guys. Season it to taste. Get it how you like it. Get your water bath canning going. It is so good to have your own homemade sauce on the shelf. It is a lot healthier for you than the store-bought stuff. The store-bought stuff tends to have a lot more sugar in it and a lot more preservatives than making it yourself. So it's not a hard thing to make yourself. It's definitely doable. You can do it with store-bought tomatoes. Even doing it, you know, with store-bought ingredients, you're still gonna come out miles ahead of the canned crap you buy at the store. Now, everybody has different recipes that they like. This is just one of Mike's recipes that he uses. And obviously, like we mentioned, the food mill definitely changed the game a little bit for us on that, but that's okay. He was able to correct it, and I've since made several things. I made a baked pasta, kind of like a baked ziti, with the mozzarella that I made from our goat milk, and I did kind of a vegetable loose lasagna with no noodles. As part of this month's challenge for eating 30 days off the farm, I used our veggies from the farm. I used our tomato sauce that we got locally, the tomatoes, and Mike made the sauce. And then I had made, by accident, some ricotta cheese out of the goat's milk. I was trying a different mozzarella recipe, and it didn't work, but it made ricotta. So I was like, oh, I'll run with this, and it worked. So it actually was kind of a good thing. So I'm keeping up with my challenge. I hope you guys are too, of eating locally and maybe even eating off of what you have on your own property to the best of your ability. So that's it, guys. Enjoy your pasta sauce, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell so you get the notifications. Manja!